Experiencing failure. It's something that everyone has experienced in their lives. This can lead to several emotions of anger, sadness,
I can't do it.
self-resentment, and even all of these at once. And the Bluey Episode Bike showcases this, but most importantly, shows the audience watching how failure is something to expect, but you can learn how to succeed.
Let's just see what happens next.
Whether it's by learning from others or trying something from a new angle, this Bluey episode heavily leans on the actions of the characters to teach a lesson as opposed to words, which is beautiful in itself. I started talking about Bluey due to my history of working with kids in a therapeutic setting, which has inspired me to start the series, and we will be deep diving into an episode that many people who have experienced their own trials and tribulations find emotional to the point it brings tears to their eyes, especially because of how powerful the musical composition is within the episode and how this episode teaches you to never give up. But before we get into the monkey bars and backpacks in the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. You have no idea how much it helps to get these videos out to more fans like you, and let's start pedaling our way into bike.
It's not fair. Why can't I just do it straight away?
That's not how the world works, kid.
Ow! I can't do it. Why can't I do it straight away? Wait a minute. She's got an idea.
Go, Bentley.
Go, Bentley!
Look at the focus. She's gonna do it. She's gonna do it.
Almost. Got it!
Yeah! Yes! Go, Muffin!
Yeah! Got it!
Yeah!
At the very start, the stage is set as we witness Bluey getting more and more frustrated learning to ride her bike, with Bandit eventually offering to help.
You sure you don't want some help?
No.
Now, the studio always does an excellent job at making every character as human as possible, but I really enjoyed that literally 10 seconds in, we can already see the writers accurately capturing the feelings and actions seen within people that are experiencing trouble succeeding by having Bluey angrily refuse assistance.
No.
And it stays accurate as we move on to Bluey eventually crashing and storming over to Bandit, slamming down her helmet and exclaiming,
It's not fair. Why can't I just do it straight away?
That's not how the world works, kid.
It's at this point Bluey has completely given up riding her bike by saying how she's never going to ride her bike again, with Bandit more or less dismissing this as Bluey notices her sister Bingo in the distance dealing with her own struggles as she can't reach the water in time before it stops running. Similar to what Bandit said earlier about that's just how the world works, to reassure Bluey to not get upset over her failure, Bandit cheers up Bluey about Bingo's failure by saying she'll figure it out. And to show Bluey others going through what she is going through, Bandit cleverly points to another kid on the playground. As Bentley expresses her dismay,
I can't reach.
you can see that the animators add something very subtle to add to the character's feelings here. They show Bentley looking down at herself with a sad look, examining her limbs, probably feeling how unfair it is to not be able to do something her peers can do over something she can't control. Throughout this process, Bluey is sympathizing with others through common feelings she was just feeling before, which is actually realized later by Bluey herself, but it's really incredible how you can see the cogs in her mind turning before this is stated. Next, Bandit points to Muffin, struggling with getting her backpack on her back, with Bluey expressing how easy of a task it is by saying,
Just stick your arm through.
now that all the kids have been shown, I want to quickly point out something I think is rather clever. Muffin, Bentley, and Bingo are all kids that are younger than Bluey, all dealing with problems that are, from Bluey's perspective, easy, but all things that she has more than likely dealt with in the past. We know that she's able to easily traverse monkey bars, put on her backpack, and I would assume drink from a water fountain, but this gives her, as well as the audience, an opportunity to relook at common growing pains we've experienced and give a sense of hope, knowing that we've overcame difficult situations before, so you shouldn't give up so easily, such as Bingo.
Look, Bingo's having another go.
As the two cheer her on as she races onto the water fountain before the water stops, but not quite succeeding, we transition to Bentley, also trying something new, getting hurt in the process, and Muffin trying to brute force her way to success, where we can see one of the most common results of failure, which is anger. This episode does an excellent job at capturing other emotions we feel from failures from the next two scenes as well, such as self-resentment, where Bentley tries again and expresses,
Why can't I do it straight away?
as well as sadness through Bingo. All these emotions are seen within Bluey in the first 30 seconds of the episode with different levels of intensity, but all similar to her peers. She gets sad like Bingo when she crashes the first time.
And then I curled into a little ball too.
She gets increasingly angry like Muffin, eventually resorting to violence. And she expresses how unfair it all is, like Bentley.
Why can't I just do it straight away?
That phrase, "Why can't I do it straight away?" is something that always hurts to hear and makes me emotional when watching the episode. This, I feel, best describes the feelings of everyone in this episode. Seeing others succeed in something you can't quite get, or knowing the steps to properly to do something, but it just doesn't work for you, is one of the hardest feelings to deal with. It quite honestly makes you feel like there's something wrong with only you, and makes me really feel connected to the character Bentley because of the raw emotions seen in her actions as well as her line delivery. And it's not hard to feel connected to everyone else on screen since we've all had these reactions before. But as mentioned earlier, this episode beautifully shows what can happen when you don't give up. Now, whatever emotion you feel when you fail, it's important to make sure not to give up. And sometimes you can even try it from a new angle. So as Bluey attempts to try to help Bingo, Bandit, being the incredible father he is, stops her and tells her,
Let's just see what happens next.
As we can see the cogs in everyone's heads turn as we get blessed by the musical talent of Joff Bush within rendition of a classical piece by Beethoven in just the next scene. Joff Bush has a tendency to use classical music in a lot of his work within Bluey, with one being the most famous example being Sleepy Time. However, we can hear it in episodes such as Magic Xylophone, Ice Cream, and even episodes such as Granny Mobile.
I think you should mind your own business.
Now the last example, Granny Mobile, might be a bit of a surprise for some since that is an episode that you currently cannot access unless you live in Australia, but there's a way to bypass this restriction, which is why I'm happy to say this video was sponsored by Atlas VPN. This service is especially useful because of the fact that there is new episodes for Bluey coming out each Sunday in Australia, so to easily access this, you just need to press one button when you have the VPN installed and go to the official broadcasting website ABC. Once there, you just need to type in Bluey and now you have access to all the exclusive pieces of content. Besides this, Atlas VPN easily stops ads and malware, you can save some coin while shopping online, it protects an unlimited amount of devices, it keeps your Google searches in private, as well as this being the best VPN deal in the market because right now you can get this deal for just $1.99 per month. So make sure to get this limited time offer by clicking the link in the comments description. Every time I watch, I really look forward to hear how Joff will work his musical magic, and the episode Bike is no different, as he really draws the emotion out of you with this phenomenal swell. And we can see everyone now trying again, but in a new way, with Bingo slamming the water button with determination,
What's she doing?
Muffin mellowing out ready with a new technique,
What?
and Bentley catching herself on the railing, giving herself a sudden stroke of genius.
She's got an idea.
And as the two cheer everyone on as the music transitions into an amazing variation of Ode to Joy, perfectly capturing this amazing feeling of everyone's newfound determination.
Go, Bentley, you can do it.
Yes! Go, Muffin!
Yeah. Almost. Yes, got it.
Yeah! Go, Bentley!
With the music calming down, we eventually look over to Bingo, who has accomplished her goal. But as Bandit says,
That's less than ideal, but it's still a win.
because at the end of the day, as long as you feel accomplished with what you've done, it doesn't matter the results. As they sit back with the music swelling once again, but with this gorgeous vocalization, Bluey takes a look back at the world, with a smile being an incredible contradiction to how Bluey felt earlier.
And the world is silly.
We can see how seeing others refusing to give up gave motivation to Bluey to not give up as well.
Nice work, Bluey.
However, we never get to see her succeed, which is beautiful in its own way since it's open-ended, but tying the episode in a fantastic way. As in tradition for any of my deep dives, we'll be covering all the Easter eggs in this episode. There are a lot more than I originally thought, so let's just get right into it. We can see this park in a couple different episodes, but this is the first time it's featured in the series. Not only this, but this location, like many other locations in the show, is based off a real place in Australia by the name of Woolcock Park. This screenshot is from an Instagram account called Real Life Blue Locations, where they show tons of side-by-side comparisons to places seen in the show, so if you haven't checked them out, you definitely should. This episode is the first time we see Bentley in the series, and Bluey's best friend Chloe. The backpack Muffin wears is of a chimp, so it's possibly a reference to Chuckney Chimp, which is a popular show in the Blueverse.
How long is 5 minutes?
It's one episode of Chutney Chimp.
Popular enough to have its own wrapping paper, and you can even see it in stuffed animal form later in the series.
Chutney Chimp special.
The drink that Muffin puts in her backpack has a sticker of a green apple, which Twitter user Kitten told me that this comes from an Australian gym, Green Apple Wellness Center, and Kitten also informed me that Bentley saying,
"I'd like to get down now."
is a Simpsons reference.
I'd like to get down now.
Thanks to the wiki, I know that this is the first episode to show a dead person in the credits, which is Beethoven, and this is the first episode we also see someone tear up in, which are Bingo and Bentley. This is the first time we see the end credit sequence to be something other than Bluey dancing, which of course is Muffin's famous tantrum, thanks to Meme Machine for teaching me that last one. And finally, the bike that Bluey rides, you can actually buy for real life.
For real life?
Real life.
That's all the Easter eggs I could find, but if there's something I missed, tell me in the comments down below. With this episode being so early in the series, I always am amazed with how incredibly impactful it is. The amount of different ways they show failure is such an amazing feat in the terms of the writer's capability, as well as the animation crew's talent. But most importantly, its ability to make the viewers feel motivated to hop back onto their own metaphorical bike of whatever they are struggling with.
Nice work, Bluey.
Whenever I watch this episode, I always feel extremely motivated afterwards. And I know I'm not alone in this, since I always see different people in the community praising this episode. It's definitely one of the best episodes in season 1 because of this, and everything else accompanying these scenes. With how amazing this episode in terms of music, I think it's fitting to share a very special project I'm currently working on that will be talking about the amazing sounds within Bluey, to fully show my appreciation of the incredible work the sound design team does in every episode. And I will be joined by a certain member in the community that knows music way more than I do. So make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss out this exciting project or any future videos I make. And now it's time to show something the community blessed me with recently. Just a few weeks ago was my birthday. Frankly, that was one of the best birthdays I've ever had because of the fact that I got to see my sister after 5 years of being separated, but also because of all the artists who made me extremely emotional by making me some really special drawings for me. The entire day I was getting these notifications every hour from different artists tagging me on Twitter to show me their birthday gift to me. And even for a few days after, I was still getting fan art from artists who wanted to celebrate this with me. Now I could talk for hours on all the emotions this made me feel and how it made me happy cry, but I feel like it's best to just show the art on the screen now with the Twitter information on the bottom left, especially since I'm about to cry just talking about it. This first piece is by Dreamy Pond. Now Dreamy Pond I've shouted out a long time ago, I think maybe like a month and a half ago, and expressed how they are one of my favorite artists, so it was really special that the first one I ever got was with them, and I really enjoyed the background. It really complements my character's colors here, and I've always enjoyed the roundness of their lines. The next piece is from an artist by Amy New. Now this is me, of course, with a party hat. I love the colors in the background, and especially the way that they drew my snout here. Something's very expressive about the art here. I think it's just very, very nice. Expresses a lot of happiness, which is how I was feeling at the time. Next is a piece by Biscuit, me sitting on a big 25. Now I turned 25, so of course that's why there's a 25 right there. But I really, really enjoyed, once again, the colors complementing my characters right here, as well as just the pose in general. Also, I really enjoyed the emotion captured in this particular piece. I feel like the slight eyebrow as well as the slight smirk really expresses a real calm joy. This next piece is Pepper. Now Pepper has a very distinct style that I can't quite explain. They always have this amazing lighting within every single art piece Pepper does, and Usually it's expressed with the eyes, but since my character wears sunglasses, it's instead expressed on the back as well as the gradient in the background, which is really nice. Next one is A Dog, which has his famously punk rock Socks and Muffin, as well as older Bluey and Bingo, bringing me a duck cake and them just all celebrating with me with a party popper. I really enjoyed the whole mood on this particular one. This next artist is Wowie, and Wowie always does an amazing job with backgrounds. Wowie always has like a satisfying look with their backgrounds. I can't, I feel terrible since I'm an artist myself and I can't quite explain this. Something about Wowie's backgrounds are always just very satisfying to me, and I really like the neon look. Neon has always been like a big thing for me, so I don't know if they somehow knew that, but I always enjoyed the little neon look right here, as well as the slight eyebrow up. I think that's very cute. Next art is from an artist by the name of Nathan. Now, you guys might actually know Nathan by now because he's been posting all these incredible things that has been getting a lot of praise recently. But right here, he drew me with a awesome looking duck cake. I really enjoy how detailed and awesome looking this duck cake is. Of course, having the 25 as candles, with me frankly looking stoked to eat the duck cake, which would be me in real life, honestly. Next art piece is by Juice. Now, Juice, as I expressed before, is very talented. I'm a big fan of his art style and the way he draws Bluey characters, but I really like the comedic effect in this one where he expressed that he was a little bit late in the tweet itself on celebrating my birthday, so I thought it was appropriate and very funny that his character is running and tripping, trying to rush me my birthday cake probably, and getting all over myself. I love that. The next one is by Kitten, which is me being given a birthday present of a drawing, which is very fitting, very meta, of her OC giving me the birthday present. And if you look really closely, you can see it saying yay 19k, which I hit around 19,000 around that time, and with my character of course tearing up, which is extremely accurate. And finally is a art piece that I got, like, I think it was like 3 days later, by Scudworth. Now this is Jack handing me a muffin that he actually took a bite out of, which is adorable, with the candle being a P for Pugly. But if you guys already know or don't know, Jack is actually my favorite Bluey character in general, so this was extremely special for him to make. Pugly's face is exactly my face if I were to see Jack in real life. But gosh, I thought that was extremely special for him to draw my favorite character giving me the birthday muffin. I know that was a lot of them, but I couldn't help but show them on a video because of how special they are to me. They're all incredibly talented, all the artists here, so please check them out down below. A link for each of their pages will be in the description. And thank you for all making my birthday truly special, and for continuing to support me, as well as the members who support me as little as $5 a month to help me eventually become full-time, which are Clairvoyance, Rick Iglesias, Cameron, Zach, as well as Christian. And if you'd also like to support me, consider clicking the link on the top right or in the comments or descriptions to become a member. And don't forget to check out the special deal for Atlas VPN as well. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I hope y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.
And the last shall be first to immerse in a pass out heat, facing him out with a moxie melt till he woke up drowning in tchotchke hell. War in a cave with a torch on the wall, then a window arrangement of porcelain dolls.